The word sin is a Greek word that translates to miss the target, like in arrow shooting and archery. When we're sinning in our lives, it actually means that we're not hitting the target. We are not on track. We are not on point with our goals. We are not in alignment. So it's really hard for someone to tell another person like you're committing a sin unless you can really see through them and you can understand the callings of their soul. You can understand what their heart is speaking and radiating. The reason that Jesus never sinned, he was free of sin, is because he was always in alignment with his highest purpose. He understood it very well, and he always took the steps necessary, followed the impulses unique to him in order to create it, in order to make sure it was manifest into reality. So, sinning isn't saying you're doing something wrong because I said so. Sinning is saying you are doing something wrong because it is not in correct relation to your soul's highest purpose and truest expression of itself. Jesus was always in alignment with himself. Therefore, he was always in alignment with God and what his mission on earth here was, what he manifested to be. And it might sound odd because it's very contrary to religious beliefs, but anybody can get to a point where they are free of sin, where they are constantly in alignment with their highest dharma, with the absolute dharma of the entire world. Dharma means that we're existing in a state of perfect progress. In order to become in alignment with yourself, to be free of sin at all times, you must have a grasp and a great understanding of who you are as a person. There are many ways you can go about understanding who you are and the several layers to yourself. It is also important to note that you will always be learning who you are. You will never stop and fully conquer and complete this ideology of self. We're always going to be growing and learning and expanding. However, there are certain instructions and ingredients to the design of your life that keep you exactly where you're meant to be at all times, doing exactly what you're meant to do. If you follow the codes to your unique expression of God, to your unique expression and aspect of the universe, you will always be in alignment with yourself. You will always be here in Dharma and you will always be free of sin. It is possible. And we begin when we start to educate ourselves on who we actually are. What does it mean to be me? Every self-based science that exists, I believe, is a gift from God to help us further navigate and easily conquer our mission here on earth. When we completely understand the codes in our DNA, our unique soul expression, we are doing God's work. We are carrying out the path that we are meant here to do. So studies such as astrology, numerology, human design, hell, even looking up the meaning of your name. These are all signposts and hints and clues from God as to who you are and what you are manifest to be. Just like the earth and God together produce any herb for any ailment we may contract, God has also given us several tools to the ailments of ignorance around self. Whatever one you choose and whatever path you follow in terms of self-education is up to you. This is where you have free will. Taking the intellectual route means opening yourself up to these studies that I mentioned and then some, even more. I'm sure there's some that I'm missing. Another way of mental approach is to just observe what's happening in your environment. Think back on what you have learned. Think back of what you're constantly coming into contact with. What has been the greatest struggle for you? Emotionally, we can look back on ourselves as children. What did we enjoy? What made us felt free? What felt the most like play? We can sit with our emotional body and start writing out our unconscious thoughts. We can start feeling into our physical body and asking it what it's telling us. Where are certain pain points? Why was this trauma contracted? Can I use this to help other people? We can get into our spiritual body by being consistent in our meditative practice, transcendental meditation being the most proven at this point, to help us do so. A lot of times in life, we are seeking to master the knowledge of something outside of us, the knowledge of computer design, the knowledge of medicine, the knowledge of our partner and other people. And this is all amazing. Once you figure out your deepest purpose, you are meant to master that subject. However, it is not until you figure out who you are that you can figure out your deepest purpose. And I believe that this is why I've always felt called to, and I always express the importance of education around self. You know, people walk through life daily and they think, what do you mean I don't know myself? They almost get offended if you tell them that it doesn't seem like they know who they are. But the truth is that not many people do know who they are through and through, because not many people are at peace. And the people who know who they really are truly successful. They have truly reached the pinnacle of what they determine and define as success. You can try to master relationships and motherhood. You can try to master medicine, and you can try to master biology or zoology or anything, all of these amazing topics that we have available to us. I believe that to be genuinely abundant and successful at anything, at all things, we must first master ourselves.